What's up, everybody? Welcome back and happy Tuesday. I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers, bringing you your daily hail forecast, sponsored as always by C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, American Contractor, and Atlas. And they're still in the description to this video, so go ahead and check them out. We're talking about storms for Texas and the Midwest today. We are in a weaker pattern. It's going to be pretty pop-up and, low end, but still got a risk out there for you guys. And then into tomorrow, that Midwest risk from today is going to shift off into the Ohio Valley. Some more storms for you guys in like Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio, etc. And then after all that, getting into our tropics. Haven't talked about those in a minute, so going to go over Tropical Storm Philippe and the latest disturbance out in the central Atlantic. So that's what we got for you today. Before we get into our weather, check us out. Weather Storm Episode 2 is out today at 5 p.m. So if you guys are interested, Derek is working with some folks at Atlas and some of our chase team, and we're going to be talking about the time Derek intercepted 6-inch hail. So got some cool storm stories on there for you, and it is on Atlas's YouTube channel. So go ahead and check that out. And Episode 1 is already out if you guys want to see. So now in Texas, it's pretty clear right now, waiting for some pop-up storms to move through. Out in the Midwest, it's a little bit different. Got this low pressure system, and you can see that kind of curling in on itself right around Iowa and Wisconsin, right there. You'll see that kind of spinning around. That's going to spit up some more storms through like Missouri, Illinois, Indiana into later this afternoon, and it's nice and clear behind that, so got a little bit of daytime heating to work with that system. And again, nice and clear and dry in Texas, New Mexico right now, where we're expecting to see those storms later on, and any little disturbance will help pop up some storms through there as well. But temperature-wise, it's looking like late summer, early fall, pretty typical. 88 degrees in Dallas, 78 in KC, and sitting in the 60s to 70s anywhere north of that. So most folks are dealing with sunshine and pretty nice temperatures right now. Not too much in terms of humidity either. Here's our muggy cast for you for today. By 5 p.m., only folks really close to the coast are going to be seeing truly humid conditions. Anywhere north of that, it's just a little muggy maybe. Oklahoma City's got a smiley face on the muggy cast. Don't see that every day, and so shouldn't be too bad in terms of humidity. However, for storms, they do like that heat and humidity, so if we're not seeing that tracking up north, doesn't really help us to get any widespread severe weather chances. That's why we're looking a little bit low. But into tomorrow, we could see some humidity streaming now up into the Ohio Valley, and those deeper greens could help us out with some storm chances out that way into the next 48 hours. But for right now, looking pretty low end, so just enjoy that nice kind of temperate weather for today. So got some storms starting to pick up here on our future radar by around 2 p.m., more coverage by around 5, but I mean it's still pretty scattered. Little storms here and there popcorning through the region, pretty much between I-25 and the Rio Grande. I'm thinking Red River, but Rio Grande there through Texas, pushing up some hail, some scattered wind, etc. And that's all going to track down to the southwest into the evening and overnight hours, and then by around 3 a.m. it's going to be pretty quiet for you guys. Now up in the Midwest, more storm coverage is expected out that way. Conditions don't look overwhelmingly better, but we do have some more coverage. Here we are by 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern. Got some storms popping up with that low. And then out behind it, should see some more starting up through the Springfield, Peoria, Champaign area by around 11 p.m. A couple of those could push out some hail as well, tracking off to the east into the overnight, getting real messy as it moves towards Indianapolis, and then mostly just heavy rain, some thunder, maybe some small hail along with it through the overnight. So maybe a ping pong ball as our max size on a couple of those Midwest storms today. Mostly it's going to stay quarters to $50 for both regions into this afternoon and evening. So there you go for your highlighted risk areas into today. Could potentially see that severe hail moving through, again, I-25 to the Rio Grande there, El Paso, Roswell, Clovis, you guys are in it, as well as parts of far west Texas into this afternoon and evening. Then up into the Midwest and parts of the Ohio Valley, I guess. St. Louis, Springfield, Champaign, Indianapolis, probably staying just south of Chicago for that severe hail into today's risk. Then for wind, now we're just mostly looking at this Texas highlighted area into today. Shouldn't be too windy up for the Midwest, but we could potentially be seeing tornadoes, so we'll get to that in a second. But again, same cities there, El Paso, Roswell, Clovis, got a chance to see both severe hazards, hail and wind for today in those storm risks, and then, you know, tornadoes for you guys in the Midwest possible. Gonna be pretty scattered, gonna be pretty short-lived for Davenport, Springfield, Champaign, again, just south of Chicago with any of those storms that pop up. But I mean, you know, still a chance, very low end, very brief, but still a chance to see tornadoes in that highlighted area. Then getting into tomorrow, that whole risk is going to shift off into Kentucky, Ohio, Indianapolis, and seeing more storms coming up by around 3 p.m. there through west or eastern Kentucky. Going to see all that track off to the east. Pretty messy, pretty rainy, and then more coming up through Illinois, Indiana, Ohio by around midnight, and that'll follow that same track off to the east. So another round of storms for you guys in Cincy, Louisville, off through Lexington, etc. And then waking up to some heavy rain for your Thursday morning if you guys are in Kentucky or southern Ohio. So hail and wind risk for this highlighted area, but here's our hail risk for today. And it's today's hail risk for tomorrow, if that makes sense. But quarters to $50 all the way from Indianapolis, Louisville, Bowling Green, Lexington, northern Tennessee. You guys could get some hail into tomorrow with either waves of those storms tracking through, as well as some high winds, and we'll update you on how things look tomorrow afternoon. But can you roof today? I mean, most people, it's a yes. Starting to see those temperature dials coming down. We were breaking them earlier. Phoenix is still doing that, but you know, it's going to be 90s through a lot of the southern U.S., 80s and 90s, so probably not too bad to be out on roofs. They can get a lot hotter, so stay, I guess, aware of that. But shouldn't be dealing with too much rain and 6-mile-an-hour winds, 5-mile-an-hour winds. Not really much stopping you if you guys are out in any of the central U.S. that got hit with those three-star maps, didn't get any 4 stars, and then we got a 5-star map down in Dallas and Austin. So if you guys have, you know, any of those roofs that you're trying to get out on, today might be a good day for it. Out in the east, we're dealing with more rain and the Ohio Valley with that storm risk tomorrow. But again, if you're pretty much anywhere like east of the or west of the Mississippi River, it should be a really great 48-hour period here to get out on some roofs, do some door knocking, canvassing, and, you know, enjoy that nice working weather for the middle of your work week. So, and then again, just kind of rainy and breezy out east, but overall pretty nice for most of us in the U.S. So, gonna leave you guys with the tropical risk for, I guess, the next coming 7 days. Looks like a mess out in the central Atlantic, but there's Tropical Storm Philippe. It's this little guy up in the northwest part of your screen, I guess. And then there's this tropical depression or tropical disturbance that's lingering, trying to organize itself a little bit. Both look kind of like, again, a mess, but they're trying to get themselves together. Philippe has already formed. It's doing tropical storm force winds at 45 mile an hour, so that's why we got a name on this guy, but should continue to track up to the west-northwest through the remainder of this week into next and drop down to a low pressure system by the time it hits, you know, just north of Puerto Rico there. So not too much at this point to worry about with Philippe, and we'll continue watching it into next week, see if anything changes. But that disturbance out behind it should follow roughly the same track just north of the Windward Islands by the end of that 7-day period. Got a 70% chance of forming into the next named storm in the next 2 days. 7 days, got a 90% chance. So likely we'll see this try to get itself together. And I mean, it looks a little bit more convincing here on this satellite. Got a little bit more compact area of development. So going to keep our eye on the central Atlantic. Nothing headed into the U.S.'s neck of the woods for the next little bit. So that's some good news. But we'll see what happens into the weekend with the pattern switch up. And again, we'll keep you updated on everything that's going on inland and Atlantic and otherwise. So go ahead and give us a follow on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Hit See First on Facebook so you never miss a live video, and smash that subscribe button everywhere else. And then if you want to get in contact with us, go ahead and scan the QR code up above me or click the link in the description to this video. That gets you access to all of our severe weather mapping products. And if you have questions about those, you can give us a call at 855-334-4245. Email us at info@hailtrace.com or check out hailtrace.com for more details. And we'll be back tomorrow at noon, as always, to give you guys updates on your severe weather risks. But for now, I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers. Thanks for watching.